New Wingy video. I'm in it. I'm barely in character, not as loud as usual. It's late. I just want to make something funny.
Classic Who is objectively poorly paced.
Yeah.
No, it isn't. There's certain stories that are like, ooh, that's a bit too long or whatever, but I don't think overall it is.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
No, I think
There is the picture of every single story I've seen on there. One of them has been well paced, and even that one still wastes time.
there's certain stories that it's like, oh, it's over already.
This never happened once. Not once. It's so bad, it's not even funny.
Depends what story you're watching, because there's some where it's like, oh my god, please just end.
All of them.
12's era is absolutely terrible.
It's not absolutely terrible.
It's not absolutely terrible. Now, you know, maybe saying an era as a whole is terrible is pretty harsh. Can we get some listens of some examples of good episodes, perhaps?
I mean, it has its moments. Like, there's some. I think I've said it in videos before. It's like 50% good, 50% bad. I think as a whole package, I wish it was better than what it was. But to say it's all terrible, I don't see that personally. Especially when you've got stories like Heaven Sent, the Lake story, Into the Dalek. There's some cracking stories in 12's era.
Those 3 stories. Into the Dalek, mid. Lake Two-Parter, good. Heaven Sent, good. What happened after Heaven Sent? And also, I've noticed this with a lot of people who say 12's era is good. They can't really list that many episodes that are good because there isn't that many.
John Sim is the best written master pre-Series 10.
Wait, so you're saying that John Sim is the best master so before Jodie and Sacha Dhawan's master came, you're saying that John Sim is the best master out of all of them?
Yes.
Like the best written?
That's...
No.
Yes.
Have you seen Roger Delgado?
Yes, he's mid.
How he's written as a character, John Sim, I do like, but that's a bold statement. Just say he's your favourite. It's not as controversial.
There's a difference between favourite and best written. Delgado is the same in almost all of his stories. Sim is not. More done for Sim in Series 3 finale than Roger Delgado in however long he did it. And if it's not as controversial, then there wouldn't be as much coping as there is currently on display. So...
The best written? Nah. Roger Delgado. Even Anthony Ainley was written better.
No. Come on. You know that's cap. You know that's cap. Come on.
Earthshock is overrated.
No.
Cope.
Next. No, it isn't. Oh, I will concede the point that you've made. It didn't have to be a Cyberman story, but it's not overrated. It's still a great story. It's one of the best. Easy.
Rebuttal. Rebuttal. No rebuttal? No arguments? No bitches? It's not one of the best. It's overrated. It's fine.
Yep, it is. Next. Move along. Move along.
Day of the Doctor is bad.
Nah, it's fun. I do like Day of the Doctor. That is a good story. But I kind of get where you're coming from, because it's not really a celebration of 50 years of Doctor Who. It is a celebration of the previous 8 years.
Nah, that's not my complaint. I don't care about the Classic Who stands mauling about there not being enough Classic Who fanfare in there. I just think it's a bad story. It just kind of fucks up all the Time War shit. Like, oh, we had all that grief. Guess it didn't matter because you could have just redone it if you met with 2 other Doctors. Even 10's written mid. Best character in the whole show, written mid in Day of the Doctor. This motherfucker had a fear of the Time Lords and then doesn't try to conflict to saving them. Okay, right, yeah, sure.
But I wouldn't say it's bad.
The Three Doctors is the only well-written multi-Doctor story.
To clarify, someone who hates Classic Who with a passion. 3 Doctors, only good one. 5 Doctors, fan wank. 2 Doctors, terrible. Time Crash, exists. Day of the Doctor, bad. Twice Upon a Time,
I don't know. I do like the Three Doctors a lot, and it is probably my favourite multi-Doctor story, but I do like the 5 Doctors for what it is.
What do you mean by that?
and I also like the Two Doctors and Time Crash. That's a thing. That's really good, even though it's like 10 minutes for children in need.
I think
I think it's the best, but I wouldn't say like it's the only one that's written well.
This is why, as a criticism of this video at the whole, in and out of character, it should be longer. Because if you're asking on a Twitter account with presumably more than 200 followers for controversial opinions, then you're going to get a lot. Like, these are all just off me. And they're all clearly not well rebutted, which is why I've made this funny in character video.
Series 2 is far superior to Series 5.
No.
Yeah.
Series 2 is such as... Take your nostalgia glasses off, like that, you see... Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, like that. I put mine on because I need them to see.
I'll put mine on because I need to be in character.
Not with nostalgia. Series 2, if you have that nostalgia for it, which, I mean, I do, I grew up with it, then I understand why you would just blindly love it. But
ignoring the fact that he almost just started a sentence with the O word. I grew up with both Series 2 and 5. If anything, I would have more bias to Series 5 because I could remember it upon broadcast. How old was I when Series 2 came out? Literally 2 years old? Do you really think I had a bias to... I had the bias to 3 stories. I would have more bias to Series 5. I grew up with it longer.
but objectively as a series, it is quite poor.
That is objectively wrong.
And I know that Series 5 doesn't always hit the mark, but the best parts of Series 5 are so much better than the best parts of Series 2, and the worst parts of Series 5 are still better than the worst parts of Series 2.
Cap, L, ratio, and cope on both of those points. The worst story of Series 5 is the Chibnall 2-parter. The worst story of Series 2, Love and Monsters Fear Her, still better. Conceptually, still better. Not just a clone of a Third Doctor story that's also overrated. And too long.
I can't agree with that one. I'd say that's controversial. I know a lot of people think it's underrated, but Series 2 I think is genuinely quite poor. Probably Russell's weakest series thus far, because he's coming back.
I would just like to say...